Hello and welcome to the Almost Irish podcast. I'm Dan Barry.
I'm Dennis Rooney.
Mick Thomas.
And we are sitting in our houses doing absolutely nothing. It's not the same. I like this better when we were in the one room together.
In the sex club.
In the sex dungeon. One, the audio is always better. I don't know why. But it sounded a lot better. And two, I don't know. I feel like the ability to bounce things off each other is fine. But instead, we're on Zoom talking about golfing.
Bad golfing.
Yeah, real bad golfing. This is really...
We got a golf trip coming up next week, and we're all pretty... Who's the better out of you two?
Dan,
Mick.
I'd say.
No, Mick.
Dan? And Dan's not good at all, right?
I'm awful. I'm real good with irons. I'm real bad with the driver.
What are you, a woman?
And misogynist Mick makes an ugly appearance right away.
The guns came out for a skyward salute. I don't know if you it's really worth watching the video.
That's why I was being a character. I was being a character to show that's not who I really am. It's just the character is.
Do you think Yosemite Sam's a misogynist? What did you think was happening there? I don't know what.
A character named Rick Pomus.
Yeah, there he is. Mick's alter ego, Mick.
You know, I'm watching shows lately.
Wow, cool.
Comedies that I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me watch that again. Like Eastbound and Down. And I'm like, you wouldn't. I mean, that show's only, I'd say, 10 years old, maybe. And it's like, there's no way you would make that now. Like some of the jokes, maybe they would make it because that's the type of person he is. But I still believe like executives would fly over and go, no.
I disagree. And the reason I say that is because like Tropic Thunder is a movie that everyone was like, you can't make that movie now. It's like, yeah, you can. It stands.
There's an audience for it, but I don't know if anybody would get behind it. And like, I don't think there's any, like, there's no new viewers to Tropic Thunder is what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? Like they just haven't thrown it off they haven't found it yet and thrown it off the air.
No, the people have tried, but
I've heard it get attacked a few times. I feel like it comes up probably like once in a while on Twitter. Twitter is just a cycle of what are we mad about now? And you know, because people are someone grows up and gets a computer, goes to college, they become this person who now they're like social justice warrior. Let's find the dirt on somebody. Then they go through the Twitter and they think they're the first one to find it. But I think it would be a risk. But Tropic Thunder was funny enough. Like as long as it's funny enough, you can get away with doing almost anything.
But also there was the identification of the character. Was like the point of the character is that it was ridiculous that he would do what he did. And there's also another character in there pointing out how ludicrous it is that he's doing it.
Right.
Like Al Pacino is the reason that the character works. The character works because he's doing this whole thing. And Al Pacino is like, is that what you think we are? And the point of it is that. The point of it is to call attention to that. And the fact that these like super method actors are like, I could do blackface and I get away with it. It's like, that's the point. The whole point of the movie is that.
Al Pacino is in Tropic Thunder?
Al Pacino, yes.
Okay, I just showed my cards that I've actually never seen the movie, just clips. That's the guy's name. That's a funny joke. I should probably check out this Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
It's new.
It's just unbelievably funny. It's unbelievable.
One of my favorite movies. And one of my favorite scenes in that movie is a movie I think that I quote all the time is Robert Downey Jr. is just peeing and he's fake peeing. He's having a conversation with a character, but he's pretending to pee to have the conversation. And then he walks away, looks at Ben Stiller, goes, that smelled like bologna for some reason. It just kept going. It's my fucking favorite line because it's such a throwaway that I'm like, this is brilliant. So aggressively I will be peeing. I'm like, that smelled like bologna.
But my problem with people trying to cancel Tropic Thunder, like, and even this week, and I'm going to mention it on my podcast. I'm going to record it today. It's like the Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, right? They want that gone now. Like,
Can you explain this to me? I haven't heard of I don't know about
this. Has been dialed up though. Mick, you tell your side, and I'll tell.
Yeah, it has been dialed up, right? Because Hasbro have come out and go like, listen, it's not true. We're not going to do it. But they originally were wanting to do it, where Hasbro wanted to get they want to get rid of the title of Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, right? Because that's obviously gender. That's male, female. That's
open marriage potato heads,
or just spuds, just like spuds you stick plastic into, whatever the fuck it is. But my point is like someone has to walk up to somebody at Hasbro and go, hey, listen, how about now? I know Hasbro have decided, I think it's because of the backlash that they decided to not do it. Like, oh no, we weren't really going to do it. I believe that.
They were just going to call it Potato Head. They were getting rid of the Mr. and Mrs. label because it was unnecessary. That was it.
Yeah, but
that was the entire logic behind what happened.
Yeah,
and
but they've always been that though. Why?
It's got to be Mr. and Mrs. It's like, oh, shut the fuck
just
up.
like
Could be a print issue. They're just saving money. Like when you get something engraved,
it's an
right,
easier way to bring the toy. You just sell the toy.
Instead of the movie being I Am Legend, it's I'm Legend. It says
yeah
on the poster. No. But here's the thing. If that was the case, you would just call it a hoop. Do you know what I mean?
What?
Like you would call it a hoop, like a hula hoop. All right, let's just cut down words now to make it short. No, I genuinely think it was because.
Well, I don't know if Hasbro owns hula hoop.
Again,
I'm sure they have a branch that covers that.
Yeah, it's a shitty example, but hippos. Why not just call it hippos? Why do they have to be hungry?
Well, hungry is the point of the game. They got to go and they got to catch them.
Well, at the end of the day, but here's my problem with it. And it's the same problem I have whenever somebody talks about like gender issues or any of these things. Like, why do you fucking care? Like, why is this not you, Mick, but people? I want to make a point that I'm not saying, Mick, you fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. But what I'm saying is, why is this what you're putting your flag in? Like, what about this argument is people being like, fuck no, it's got to be Mr. Potato. Are you that much of a fucking boring waste? That
you
Mr.
should care,
Potato Head has to be a thing?
You should, as a comedian, care.
No, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't.
Everyone knows that the backbone of free speech and the fiber of America is based on the Mr. and Mrs. part of the potato head.
It's not even free speech. It's nothing about that. It's just saying it's okay to take away things that are unnecessary. Listen, I'm all for change where change is needed. Like, first of all, what's the harm? Like, let's talk about the harm of Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. Like, what's the harm of that?
No, but here's the thing.
It's not saying like men only and women only. That's it. Potato Head. I'd go, all right, that's a bit much. That's a bit exclusive. But like, what's the harm in Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head?
But here's the thing. It's not about there being harm. You're immediately attaching like somebody's being attacked with this. It's not. It's instead taking the attack element of it and saying we can be more inclusive and just call it Potato Head. Because at the end of the day, boys and girls put whatever fucking accessories on the potato they want to, and then they move on. And it's toy stops getting played with after a week and a half. That is the absolute God's honest truth of how that functions.
We're also sorry. Go ahead.
The thing is, if you take away Mr. and Mrs., you're instead saying like, who cares? It's a gender neutral potato because who gives a fuck that it's a gender neutral potato? People get upset that they're getting rid of Mr. and Mrs. because they think they're attacking gender norms, and it's not. It's just saying who gives a fuck. We're just gonna call it a potato head, and therefore everyone plays with it.
Then why change it? If
nobody to stir up sales, because now everyone's talking about it. And when was the last time anyone thought about Mr. Potato Head?
I agree with that. I do agree with that. It is 100%. I do not believe Hasbro has a fucking soul. I believe in their perspective that they're going like, well, if we just make it like gender neutral, more people will buy it. But in reality, like the problem is it's not about hurting somebody. It's instead being like, one, we could just sell one product instead of creating two packages. We just sell one product. Who gives a shit? It's not doesn't double up sales. It doesn't, you know what I mean? It is what it is. We could just say, oh, it's a cost cutting measure that we can use as a way to leverage and garner more income. But people are getting upset about it and talking about it because they're fucking boring. Like that's
the Potato Head franchise should have died a long time ago. Okay, first of all, we're ignoring the obvious, and Dan kind of touched upon it. These are omnisexual potatoes. Okay, no matter it's a mustache or big cute red lips, there's no genitalia on these potatoes. We need to pull back the curtain on the whole situation.
What if there was a little hole in the bottom where you could put a dick or a vagina?
Listen, first of all.
If there was a dick and vagina, then I'd be like, guys, Mr. and Mrs. seems to be the least of the imposing issues.
There's a rear access panel. We all know about the rear access panel. Everyone understands. You can open the rear access and put whatever you want in there, which not for nothing.
I thought that was a feelings container like Mick has.
Feelings jar.
Feelings jar, excuse me.
Which realistically, you could dress your potato up like a boy, but hidden in his back panel in his feelings jar are his lipstick, a fucking wig. He knows what he's like behind closed potato doors, and that's really all that matters.
Yeah, but listen, as being the leading spokesman on potatoes,
So
not that Idaho shit either.
This podcast is brought to you by Wexford New Potatoes. Everyone should know this is the Wexford New Potatoes. And if you're Irish, you get what I just said. But if you don't,
killing it.
Yeah, I didn't really get it. To be honest.
Yeah, you'd have to just drive on any of the highways to understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Explain on the car ride.
Yeah.
But my only concern, like, here's the thing: someone had to walk up to a CEO and go, "Hey, can we change? Can we get rid of the Mr. and Mrs. because whatever?" Like, nobody says "fuck off out my office" anymore. Like, nobody says that anymore. Like, I watch like, you know what I watched yesterday? Zero Dark 30. Right? Remember that movie where they went and a cop in Laden? There's a scene where the boss walks in and they're all around this table and they're all in suits and they're all sitting there like, and you know, we've had this, the 100 May days, and nobody do your fucking jobs. Like, and immediately I went, he wouldn't get away with that today. Someone would call HR, and the head of the military guy would be fired because nobody has the balls anymore to walk up to a boss, and nobody has the balls anymore to go, look, just fuck off.
But here's my Dan Barry posing the question to you. If you have to scream at somebody to do their job, does that make you an effective leader?
Oh, stop.
Don't you hate this calm, rational Dan Barry? Where's the man I see in the ring all the time doing finger guns, getting shit done, Dan?
No, but believe it. Like, I've tried with my kids taking a knee, eye level. Hey, man. Hey, right? And he still does it. But when I tell him I will throw you through a fucking window if I ever catch you doing that again, never happens again. It's
just when Mick's son puts on his wife's shoes just to walk around as a joke, and Mick goes, "Not in this house. It's a Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head."
I was gonna say, Mick screams this shit at his kids now, and he's like, "And it's for the better." Meanwhile, in like 20 years,
20 years from now,
every Saturday, just like trying to run from something. I don't know what it is.
Dude, I had a week this week. I'll tell you on the car. I know it's not fair to people listening, but
yeah, you can't say that.
No, but I had a fucking week where like there was not enough miles on a road for me to run from this week. Oh fuck. You know, like, my family thinks I'm going off somewhere later to do another podcast. I'm just gonna go sit in a movie theater by myself and watch a movie I've already seen.
Movie theaters are reopening. What are you seeing?
I've seen already. That Denzel one. I don't even know the name of it.
No, I've seen that Denzel one. Yeah.
You know,
I have no clue.
Denzel, Jared Leto.
Yeah, I actually, can we talk about that movie? Because I like that movie.
Yeah, go on. I mean, if Rooney hasn't seen it, it's pointless.
What movie?
That Denzel movie.
With Jared Leto, but I don't know which movie that is.
Yeah, with Jared Leto, and then Freddie Mercury.
Let me check my confirmation of purchase of ticket, and I'll tell you the name.
How old is the movie?
It's brand new.
Well, the problem now is that movies come out on HBO as well as the movie.
Wait a minute, The Little Details or whatever the hell it's called.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I turned it off after like 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I explained.
Is it because you knew what the ending was going to be? The little things, the movies.
No, it was very. I thought it was an odd film, and I like Denzel. I'm curious to hear what you. Maybe I should finish it. You let me know.
Well, I'm going to spoil the whole fucking movie for you right now.
I'd rather not, but all right.
Yeah, don't do that. He might.
No, go ahead. Actually, I don't think I'm I'm not going to go back. Actually, I want to hear it now. I'd rather hear it from you. I think.
So in the third act, when the alien shows up, you start to figure out that you didn't even get that far.
A gender neutral alien arrives.
Yeah. They just called it Captain Alien. They didn't assign a gender to it. And then you have Denzel, who's old school, just going, "Are you a boy or a girl?" And Jared Leto's like, "Who cares?" And then
Freddie Mercury, Mr. Robot is in it. That's right.
Yeah.
I didn't like his character or his acting very much in that.
He's the same in literally every movie.
I disagree with that. Come on, he's not Freddie Mercury. If he was Freddie Mercury in every movie, then I'd be on board with anything he was in. Can you imagine Freddie Mercury and Mr. Robot dealing with that shit? I've never even seen Mr. Robot. I can only imagine.
Actually, first season of that show was really good.
Go ahead. Sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I liked it, but I also think that like it's very understandable why people wouldn't. It's very like you almost have to give away the ending for it to make sense for them saying this. But like as you go through the movie, people are like expecting this big thing, and then when the big thing doesn't happen, they all get fucking mad. And I disagree. I think that's kind of the point, is to set expectations and be like, you know, who are the monsters? Who's the monster in the movie? And that's where I think the interesting part of the movie.
I like that though, when like, because it's very it's taking a risk, especially with American audiences, and I can say that because I've watched movies in different countries and listened to them. Like Americans, I'm just not paraphrasing, generalizing, right? So I know there's a lot of people that are listening who are not like this, but a lot of like I noticed with American audiences, they need everything wrapped up in a bow, right? It's gotta have, and if it's not happy, they demand spin-offs. They demand, like, I need another movie to tell me how this one ended. Like when The Sopranos happened, I was like, that was a great fucking ending. A great ending. And people are like, no, we need more. Like, no, it happened.
I would argue this, and I agree with you to an extent, but I would frame it this way, in that it's not so much Americans as an audience as it is the world in general. Most people are simple. They want shit tied up. They don't want loose ends. They don't want this. There's two ways to end a movie. One, definitive, this is what happens. Two, what do you think? What do you make of it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Christopher Nolan loves to do the second one. That's why I like him as a director. But here's the thing. It seems that it's Americans because we are the Western leaders in fucking movies. You know what I mean? International films are a thing, blah, blah, blah. And one or two every year gets like blown up by who? By the Western audience. But like Hollywood is so culturally persuasive that like it probably seems like it's really just America. But because it's America, it's kind of the world in that sense.
No, but I mean the audience, not who are making the movies. Like that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like people have, like, look at the Freddie Mercury, what's it called?
But that's what I'm saying. They're making the movies for the audience. So it's like they know who they're catering to. They're catering to most of the time the simple-minded, where they're like, we gotta, and if they don't like it, like you said, franchise, spin-offs, just make, or if it works, make 3 more, you know?
Right. I mean, I agree with that, but like it's also to the point where when you make a movie, right, if it doesn't, like I remember when they leaked like the Spider-Man costume, when Spider-Man was brought back in Civil War, and they showed a clip of him landing on the trunk of the car, and he takes Captain America's shield. It was a split second of a trailer, and the internet was, I mean, like millions of comments of, I don't like the suit. Well, fucking, it's not like you can't make everybody fucking happy, and people just piss and fuck. Well,
it's a loud minority. That's really what it is.
You go make a movie, then you can't. Like,
oh, that's the whole thing. I actually don't think he should have been in the trailer. I think Spider-Man should have been just revealed in the movie.
Well, there's no more about it. You can't do that anymore now with the internet. Like they talked about on WandaVision, and I don't want to nerd out and have, you know, people just go, I don't understand what's going on. But they brought in a certain character to that, right? And it was because of the internet. They had to sneak that guy on with a blanket over his head, like he was fucking captured by ISIS, and they were going to get information from him. And he had to walk around all day with a blanket on his head so the audience wouldn't know who he is.
No, I agree. I think that there's an element of it where people are fucking batshit crazy, and I think we have to be fully aware of that. But I think that we do have a tendency to give away way too much, and I think that you know, I think, like, I'll give you an example. The last Batman movie Nolan directed, where Batman's fighting Bane, was it Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah.
The last scene, I'm gonna spoil this movie. You haven't seen this movie by now.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Yeah. Fuck them.
I'm gonna use the bathroom then, because I was gonna watch later.
All right, D Rooney. All right, go enjoy. But the last scene where Bruce flies the plane into Gotham
Bruce,
Harbor.
is it? You know him as Bruce, do you?
Bruce, big Bruce.
Mr. Wayne.
I even still say Bruce Wayne.
Mr. Wayne. How about Wayne?
Full name is what it says in the paper.
So, Bruceifus Wayneifus goes in. This is his Christian name. Drops the bomb in the harbor, and then earlier in the movie they go, all I want to do, Michael Caine says, I want to retire. I want to see you in in Italy, and I just want to, not say a word to you, like whatever. That's all he wants to see.
Yeah.
And the last scene has fucking Michael Caine sitting there. Michael Caine.
Master Bruce.
Sitting there drinking his tea, and he looks up and he raises the glass and nods, and then they cut to Selena Kyle and Bruce Wayne drinking and doing it back.
Batman and Catwoman.
Yeah, you don't need to ever show that second half of that.
You're the only person that I've said that every time I watch that, which is a lot. I'm on a weird DC.
Mick, we know that you watch superhero movies a lot because you go, one day that'll be me, which is why you're training for boxing and running fucking marathons. We're well aware that in one way, Mick Thomas is a superhero and he wants to have a fucking cape for no goddamn reason.
Capes are for queers.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Mick Thomas raises.
By the way, that's from the movie. That's from Kick-Ass. That's not me saying it. That's a quote from a movie.
Although he just happened to just mirror exactly. He just happens to also be in Kick-Ass.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I got back in the ring. This week, and I sparred, and I got the shit kicked out of me. I
hope it was a woman. For the love of God, I hope it was a woman.
You know what it was though? It was like, because my stamina, there was nothing wrong with it. I get in the ring, and I bought Mouthpiece about 4 months ago, anticipating that maybe one day the guys will go at the gym. Hey, Mick, jump in there. And I go, all right. And the guy I was fighting also was born. I'd never met a guy that was born with one kidney before, and he happens to be now a good friend of mine training at the same gym. So we get in the ring.
Is that an advantage in a weigh-in where it's like he's got one less kidney to worry about?
Yeah, it's got to work. It's got to work.
Like losing a leg to be in an arm wrestling contest. You know, just happen.
But I put the Mouthpiece in, and it's one that you have to bite down on the top and bottom for it to stay in, and there's only 4 little holes. So there's no, I do 25 rounds, 10 rounds on the bag. And I got full force. Normally my oxygen, when you put in a regular small Mouthpiece, you're cutting off 40% of your oxygen, right? This one must have been cutting off 90%. I got gassed within the first, I'd say 30 seconds of the round. And then he just pulled on me, because I had no oxygen. I was just standing going, oh, fuck me. 2 rounds is all I lasted. 2 rounds and a half. And they're like, you done? I was like, I have the wrong equipment. And I didn't want to be the guy that blames the equipment.
Did you say that? You said I have the wrong equipment?
I just said my Mouthpiece. And then the coach who was doing my corner, he kind of looked at it. He's like, yeah, you're fucking, I don't know why you I don't even think it was a boxing one, but Dick's Sporting Goods put it in the boxing section, and there's no way it belonged there.
Mick's just got a mouthful of Play-Doh, I don't understand.
He has a mouthful of packing peanuts. He's like, I can't understand why I'm not winning right now.
Yeah, I think it was for maybe, and I don't know much about hockey, but I'd say if you were a goalie for hockey, it would be perfect, right? Because you're not as moving around as much as the other guys. And it was I got the shit kicked out of me. So
I can't do mouth guards.
Another one.
I can't do mouth guards. I have a thing. I gag. For wrestling, I had one fitted because I've had my teeth knocked out. So I had one fitted.
As in mat wrestling,
yeah, like pro wrestling. I got my teeth knocked out, so I was like, I'm gonna wear a mouth guard. I got very I paid a lot of money to fix my mouth. I don't want to ever have to do this again. So I went to my dentist and had a mouth guard fitted for me, and it went in, and I was like, I can never do anything with this. I don't like it. I feel very uncomfortable. I feel like I'm gonna gag. And I also have deviated septum in my nose because I broke my nose. So only one nostril really works. So it's you're just gonna you're whistling through the left nostril, just right. This is awful. I don't know what I'm doing. And then it's
you can't run with it. You can't do any cardio.
No, you can't. I was never comfortable wearing it. And then I'd find myself just just mouth open, right. I look like an idiot. Just get rid of it. You're never gonna be a boxer. You're never gonna be a martial artist. You won't be a crime fighter.
Having a hard time breathing like that, it's so hard when you get the wind knocked out of you to not panic. You know what I mean?
It took a lot. I actually practiced because wrestling, you always get the wind knocked out of you. It's pretty. So you have to learn how to arms above your head, lay down, stay still, move. Get yourself just kind of get yourself moving. You're gonna have a panic attack. For me, it's when you start losing the ability to breathe. Mick will tell you, even in boxing, you get hit in the stomach, you lose the ability to breathe. But when you're wrestling a legit shoot wrestler, and they're you can't breathe, and they know that.
That's a shoot wrestler.
So shoot wrestlers like a Greco-Roman wrestler, or we call them. Yeah, this is where it's gonna get a fucking stupid chuckle. We call them a hooker because what happens is they'll grab a limb and they'll pull you in, and there's nothing you can do to stop them.
And then charge you for it.
Yeah, and suddenly it's $150 in your pocket. But there's a guy, Josh Barnett. He grabs you. It's that'll be $150 if you want me to. So there's a guy, Josh Barnett, who UFC guy, who's a pro wrestler also, who I have had the pleasure of rolling the ring with, and he had put me in like a chin lock, and as I breathe in, he feels the inhale, and as I exhale, he just leans in a little bit more. So now when I breathe in next time, I can't breathe in as much, and
That's
then he
what
leans a little
pythons
bit more.
That's what pythons do.
Yeah. So he has one.
Did he then unhinge his jaw and start to swallow you whole from the head down?
He's an
That's his
anaconda.
finishing move.
Yeah. He
He's going for the digester.
But if you've watched his UFC fight, he's won matches by that exact thing. He'll put people in a headlock, right? And he kind of has them on their back and he just leans on their body. And as they start to breathe, he just cinches it in and he cinches it in. And people tap out because they can't breathe. And it's a really unique trick. But fuck, if it isn't the scariest thing in the world, be like, oh, nothing's coming in. Like I'm just here. And I will black out momentarily because I have nothing in me. And you have to like, yes, you tap and you go, please let go, sir. And he goes, okay, no problem.
I like the idea of a snake wrestler. It's like I thought I had him. He had just molted. It was his skin.
It was his skin. And
behind me the whole time.
He slithers out of the ring. Yeah.
And he hibernates for the winter.
Yeah, that's it. He's also a
They
bear.
wanted me to wrestle in high school, and I'm so happy I didn't because I just can't. And I'm not making fun of it at all because those are tough fucking guys, and I know what they go through and stuff. But like me in the wrestling outfit, I couldn't. It would not be a good look.
For me, it was the cutting weight. That's where I got problematic because I was like 130 pounds of my heaviest in high school. Like, you want me to drop weight? Like, I know I want to gain weight. I want to look like an adult at some point in my life. And like, no. You're 130. You gotta be like 112. 18 pounds. Where the fuck? I lop off an arm? Like, what the fuck do you think you're gonna get? And the singlet. I look good in this. Daddy looks good in the singlet.
No one does.
Oh, of course you do.
No. I look good in the singlet, Mick.
No. Listen, I don't care how big your hog is. No one looks good in a singlet. Nobody.
Dan, you look great in a singlet. Dan's got like the Ziggy Stardust lightning bolt going across, you know?
Daddy looks good in a singlet. I don't want to hear a word out of you, Mick.
The only person who looked good in a singlet was with Mr. Perfect when he took it off. Like he did that move when he took it down to a pair of shorts.
Kurt Angle also. But you
looked good in a pair of shorts.
No, but it highlights.
Mick's just arguing that men look better with less clothes on, and I can't disagree.
Yeah, I apparently he's never seen me with less clothes on. But it makes the traps look good, hides your little nips, hides your belly, and then it just goes right to the sack, and you're like, that is a good look.
I disagree. I think anybody in singlet, when you look at them, you should see them in black and white, like just big curly Russian mustache.
just lifting the big
strong man at the circus.
Yeah,
that's it.
I could maybe pull that off with like an inflatable dumbbell, you know, with a one arm.
Just two balls at the end of another fucking.
Yeah.
Lift it, regiment. Lift it.
And a 1 and a 2 and.
We should all go golfing in singlets,
dude. If they would let me.
I need to get. I promised myself I was going to go to the driving range a couple times. I promised myself I was going to go get a polo or two. This way I don't look like shit on the course. None of this is done yet. Dan Barry's already packed.
I'm packed.
Yeah, I'll do that during the week. I'll bring some workout stuff for early Saturday morning, maybe.
I did my laundry, and then as I did my laundry, I went, I'll just put stuff away now because I'm not wearing any of these clothes until I go golfing.
Yeah, I texted Kenny, the other guy we're going to be meeting down there for our listeners, and he said, he goes, it's 70 degrees now, he said, but I don't know what's going to be. So he goes, bring shorts and pants. So
yeah, I'm going to bring shorts and then just have a hoodie because my legs can be cold. Saturday, it's supposed to rain. I did see that. So there's a chance that maybe on Saturday we just do cocaine and sleep. I mean, we can drive home. I don't know. I don't know what we can do.
Take drugs, soft drugs.
Yeah. That's the time to do it, is when you're in a new
We'll take
town.
drugs and record like a 6-hour podcast in the rain, you know?
Yeah, and then we listen to it back. It's like, were you snoring?
It's a nice hotel, though. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna set up the podcast studio in the hotel. I don't have a camera, so that's gonna be a problem. But otherwise, it'll be good.
I only just looked at the hotel. I know you had sent the link before, but I only just looked at it this morning, and yeah, it looks nice. I'm excited.
I think that we're
masturbate in a different change of scenery, you know?
It will be nice. It will be nice. All right.
Yeah.
It's always nice when you get out of the house, you watch porn with the volume up. That's always a big one for me.
Well, please don't do that. in
Yeah,
the
well,
house.
here's the thing. There's 3 rooms.
I'm bringing Bluetooth speakers, Rooney.
There's 3 rooms, Rooney. Don't worry.
And I'm going to watch pagan videos.
I'm trying to sleep at 4 a.m. before the tea time. Just wake up to that. Nice.
Yeah. While he's running a marathon in a cape, boxing, he's gonna be fucking playing pegging videos.
I do hope that we're all. I know we all suck. I hope it's close enough in skill level. I like to bet a little bit. I always lose, but I always like to bet something, not a lot.
I think you bet on the game, right? Where you go like, who has the least number? We set rules. Like I think that there are mulligans because we're not good at golf. I think that there are
Dan's so efficient. He's like, we set rules. I'm like, yeah, Dan, I know how a game works.
But I think the point of this is prop bets. You don't play
golf.
You don't play the point of like you pay like $5 whoever's gonna win the game wins the game, right? But then you have prop bets throughout. Like I bet I'll land on the green, or I bet this one goes in the fucking woods. Like that's like, you know what I mean? Like that's
you can't shit in a hole without touching the edges.
Yeah.
I like the idea of saying $20 says this one goes in the woods, and then you try to hit the woods and you just like nail the green.
Well, you bet against. You're supposed to bet I won't, and then everyone will be now you will. I'll bet you $5 you do, and then you just knock it in the woods, and you're like, "Fuck me, that sucks."
I've been watching the Tiger Woods documentary, so I'm pretty good to go now. I'm ready.
Nick's ready to take some pills and get behind the wheel.
I watched The Legend of Bagger Vance, and I'm pretty sure I get golf now.
I love that movie so much. Unironically, I love that film. One of my favorite lines. That film is self-aware. Will Smith goes, "I'm trying to tell you a story about overcoming adversity."
But golf
is genius. I don't care who. It's so genius, that line.
Golf is the worst fucking sport to talk about with anyone. Like,
unless you really like golf.
Yeah. It's fucking dull and boring. Like, it's just shit. It's like the most boring people play it. And like, I believe that.
Can confirm.
You know
it's
what I mean?
like trying to describe a cool ping pong match. It's not happening.
No, but you know what? Like, here's the thing. I think there's elements like if you're playing golf, it's good to talk about like what happened last time we played golf. Like I'll have that conversation. I'm not somebody who's like, I play golf, so I have to watch the Masters now. Like I'm not at that level of golf. Like there are people who literally like will stop their day and be like, no, you understand? Like the Masters are on this weekend. It's like, yeah, it's 75 hours long and there's no reason to watch it. Like you could just wait to the results and go, I'm sure you had a good game, and then watch highlights if you really want to see a great shot. Otherwise, golf is hilariously boring to watch on TV.
All sports are boring for television. All of them. They're all highlights.
You've never seen Robot Wars.
Robot Wars I have seen, but baseball, like American football, fuck off. Takes up too much. The sport shouldn't take up that much of a day. You know what I mean? Like
it's an escape. So people, I agree with you. Where I always said baseball's so boring to me. The games are so long. But if you showed me the game, you ever watch at the end of the day they show pitch, like run after the other instead of all this time in between. If I could watch the game like that, I might enjoy it a bit more.
Than that, like because when I was in Ireland, I used to love watching American football on Sky Sports. But it was an hour long, so you would watch a game that was an hour, and I was just play. And like when I moved to America, it's like, oh, I'll get to see sport. Maybe I'll go to a game. Like this is awesome. I used to watch it all the time, and I would sit down and I would put it on, and then the camera's on this guy just walking across the field after a play. I'm like, why are we looking at this guy? He's just standing there talking to another guy, and then he meets a guy, and then another guy comes over, and they're like, yeah, all right, yeah, and a smack. And I'm like, why? And then baseball, and my biggest fucking complaint about that is if it's considered a sport, why isn't it on the sports channel? Like, I have my DVR set for The Simpsons and Family Guy, and now all of a sudden I go to watch it, and there's a fucking fat guy in pajamas playing baseball. I'm like, what happened? Oh, the game went long. If it's a sport, get it on the sports channel.
I want to see Mick from the future walk into Mick's frame right now on the Zoom conference and be like, why don't you broadcast your own sports channel then if you think you're doing so well?
There it is.
Yeah, cunt, and just walk off frame.
Come on,
I don't know, Mick. They can make the choices, man. It's working out for them. They're making money.
Yeah, but my DVR doesn't know that.
No,
it's
I hear you.
Overtime.
That is the worst, to think you have something recorded and it's just like, oh, it went into overtime. It's like, well, fucking put it on another station. Broadcast it over the internet or something. Like, there's a schedule to keep here with television.
And when you have kids, Rooney, you don't have anything else in your life. I had was The Simpsons. It was the one thing I had. Is this, I would come home after the show somewhere, and I would sit down on a Sunday night and go, everyone's in bed, and I would just click, and at the top of the 5th inning, I'm like, fuck. Like, just ruins your day, ruins your shitty day.
The kids just pull the sheets tighter, like, oh no, daddy's, the game went long.
Yeah. And
I like going to games.
Walk to the bathroom and go, hey, check out that game, huh? Pretty good. I'm like, fuck.
As somebody who likes going to baseball games, I like just being at the stadium. When a game still goes long, you hate it there too. There's never a time when you're like, oh, thank God. Like, unless it's the playoffs and your team's about to go in advance and whatever.
Yeah.
Normally you're like, oh my God, this is so long. It's like, please get me out of here.
I have never been at a game. I mean, I've never seen a game on TV where all those people behind the dugout, the cream of the crop seats, the most expensive, everyone's behind texting and bored out of their mind. Everyone's got their feet up and they're just laughing. Nobody's watching the fucking game.
People who buy expensive seats don't like the sport. That's how I feel. You've never been to a better seat than if you're sitting in the bleachers at Yankee Stadium and people are just cursing at you for being there. Well, like, fuck you, you're not a fan. It's like,
I have a theory of that because you're so far up that your imagination makes the game more exciting. When you're down close, you're like, holy fuck, this really is so fucking boring, isn't it? Like, why? You know what I mean? But when you're way up there in the shitty seats, you're like,
it's like watching an ant colony. You're like, wow, look at them. They're so organized.
It's a flea circus.
And you're up close. Like, oh, it's just an ant.
I look at what, you know, you see someone in a singlet and you imagine it's bigger than it is. And you're like, oh, this is the imagination of no oxygen.
Going to a game that you don't know is going to be like 4 hours long or goes into overtime. That's like, you ever go into a movie that you don't know a lot about and 2 hours in, you're like, how long is this fucking movie? Like, next thing you know, you're watching The Irishman. You know what I mean?
Oh, fuck that movie.
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing to do at baseball games, because I'll pretend I've been to other things, but really baseball games is where it's at. When you're at baseball games and you see people from the opposing team and they just start like they get bold because they're up a run, and then they start yelling, and then you get like old ladies cursing them out. There was one guy, I forget what it was, whatever. I think it was they're playing the Tampa Bay Rays. You don't give a shit about the sport. But anyway, so guy was turning around and they were up by 2 runs, and he starts turning around, he starts like yelling, like, yeah, fuck the Yankees, like whatever. He's like really expensive seats. And it's me and my buddy, and we were a little drunk. And I go, hey man, I can see your nipples through your shirt. And he suddenly had to sit back down, and he never spoke her again for the rest of the game. Like, I made him the most uncomfortable that anybody's ever made somebody, and that made my day. And that's what I like about baseball, is the ability to go out and like, who cares what's happening out there? Look at this piece of shit's nipples. They are so big, you can see him through his shirt. It's,
you know, that guy went home, took out a home equity loan on his house, and got nipple surgery the next day.
Yeah. He's like, I can't do it. They're pointing it out at the game. Just wear an undershirt, honey. No, it's the point.
The guy had actually like lost his nipples in a weird stovetop fire, a la Mrs. Doubtfire. You know what I mean? And you just happen to zero in and target his biggest insecurity and just fucking bling.
That's my mutant ability. Like, if there was like an X-Men right now, like Mick would be like, I can run marathons. Like, mine is
I can do it already, so I don't need any more powers.
One day you'll be able to do it without stopping. And then secondly, mine is finding the insecurity that you are most painfully aware of that most people wouldn't notice. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna point it out to you, because that's my goal. My brother, he has like kind of his toes look like they're too big for his toenails. And it's just something that nobody in the world.
Toenails are big for his toenails.
So his toes are too big for his toenails. Like, he has more toe than.
I know what you mean. What you mean. I've seen them, and I'm always like, how do they clip their nails? Do they go so far? It's like, what's the deal?
So we're sitting there, and I'm sitting by the backyard, and we're bullshitting, and he's like making fun of something, like one of my brothers or whatever. And I go, why does it look like your toes are eating your toenails? And he stopped wearing sandals around me. Like, that's the level that I get to with some people, because I'm not going to pick on you for like, oh, you're ugly. Like, we know, but let's talk about this. And I'll do the same thing for myself too. I don't want to make it seem like I wouldn't, but.
How can you be an adult and not know at this point, lean in? You know what I mean? Someone says that, just be like, cause they're delicious toenails. What?
It's just, you just have to. Rooney, what would your mutant ability be?
Oh my God, what would my mutant ability be?
All right, before you answer, it doesn't necessarily have to be mutant ability. It could also come from a radioactive explosion or something like that. I mean,
you could have come in touch with a mind stone.
Could be a mutant gene, some sort of chromosomal. I don't know. No, since we're kind of doing social superpowers, I'll frame it that way. I am very good at this, and it's kind of a scope of things.
Rooney becomes very tolerable to people.
Yeah, I'm very nice. I'm just like, okay, I understand. I disagree, but that doesn't mean that we can't hang out. No, I don't.
Gender.
I missed that, but I saw the fly away, and I like that. No, one thing I love to do is when a stranger smiles at you in public or at the store or something like that, you continue looking at them, but you don't return the smile. I'm very good at
you're good at embarrassing people for smiling at you.
No.
That's it.
I don't necessarily. Mick does this too, actually, sometimes, but I won't fall into the nice for niceness' sake thing sometimes. You know what I mean?
What do you mean, nice for nice?
Mick, do not look puzzled at me like that. All
Somebody's
right?
nice to you, but you don't have to be nice back.
I'm sure I agree with you, but I don't know what you're explaining. Though.
When somebody's nice to you and you're not
okay,
nice
like if we're having a conversation and someone just walks into it and isn't really like who are you? Why are you here?
Are you that nice?
Yeah, the green room was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Kind of like that. You were doing that night. Yeah, I actually withheld my superpower that night, I think. I was pretty whatever, she's here. I don't need to.
Yeah, you got to tell people what happened now.
Well, we were in a green room. Someone walked in, acted like they belong there, and all of us had...
A non-comic walked in, and didn't just walk in by accident. They walked in, sat down, took their jacket off, and continued to listen.
They claimed it was by accident, but immediately sat down and made themselves at home. Might as well have put their feet up on the table.
See, my thing is, in those scenarios, I'm fully aware that what's happening is hilariously weird. But I'm much more about, let's see where this goes. And that's how I like to play the game. Mick, so this woman comes in, sits down, just starts listening to our conversation, and Mick goes, fuck is she doing here? The fuck? She hasn't caught the fucking hint that we don't want her here. And it's that loud. It is as loud as I'm being. Now, this woman is so drunk. She's
her superpower, not hearing Mick for some reason.
Not being cognizant that she's the butt of the joke. That is her complete superpower. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh, you like the show. Like, I'm poking a bear because I'm like, let's see where this goes. And then Mick's just like, fucking cunt. She won't leave. She's still sitting here. Listen to us tell our fucking story. She's not a comic. She's not funny. And he's just having this conversation with Rooney, who is now laughing because Mick is just she's fucking still here. Took her jacket off. She's real comfortable. Like it wouldn't end. Oh, it was so good. And
she was mostly quiet, and that's why I was tolerant of her. But if she had started really talking, I would have been like, and you are? Like, who are you? Why are you here?
It's not the point because of the sensitivity of the venue we perform at, Sex Club, is that if us being comics, and as you know, when we're not in the public eye, as in this or other people, we're vicious. We say the most horrific shit we don't mean. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, these people who don't understand comedian culture, they go out and go, did you hear what he said about African babies? Rooney said it, right? And it's like...
The context
believes Rooney said that.
Yeah,
no one believes Rooney said that. They're all...
I'm sure. African babies, yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's like, and now all of a sudden, we're fucking thrown out of this exclusive sex club. You know what I mean? By the way, anything we know, do you ever notice that when you go a sex club or something like that, where we are, people are not attractive. It's not like for the listeners, oh my God, you in your head, you hear sex club and you're thinking of hot people. There's a comedy club we've all been to, I think maybe together actually, up in, it's Wisecrackers in Allentown. Okay. And in the hotel one night, there was they do it every quarter, I think. And it's a swingers convention. And in your head, right, if you're in a hotel, right, you're a lad, you want to rub one out. So your imagination, I wonder what you're imagining all these hot people on top of each other. They're fucking disgusting looking human beings. Disgusting. I'm like, why?
Called free love, Mick. All right. Free love.
I don't get it, man. How people like that want to look at each other. Just, Ugh.
I wouldn't want to be a part of any sex club that would have me as a member. You know what I mean?
Really.
If I was in a sex club, I would want to be the ugliest person, most unattractive person in the sex club. It's the only reason why I'd want to be in it.
Yeah,
It'd be like-
I'd be batting ninth. I want to let you guys know. Nobody, I'm not the leadoff hitter.
Honestly, if it's hot enough, I'll just watch. You don't even know. I'll stay clothed. I'll just bring water, hand out waters to people, a banana here and there, you know?
It's like if you go to a pool and you're just not comfortable taking your shirt off. And like you're not gonna jump in. No, I'm fine. I'm just gonna sit here and have a drink. You go in. You go in. I'll be fine. Like that's no. They're awful. They're awful. Like when you ever think these sexual deviants, they're never attractive people. Like anything that's cool or sounds sexy, there's never like motorcycles. You would think that would just be hot guys like some of them like in Sons of Anarchy or Mayans. They're always fucking slobs. And the bike is working way harder than the knee. Like, there's a reason to have a Harley call a fat boy because Harley just went, fuck it. Let's just call it for who buys it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not called Fat Boy. It's called Strong Shocks for the fucking person riding it.
What's a hobby or a culture or a scene that is all hot people?
Volleyball.
Comedy. I was about to say this podcast full of models calling people ugly is fucking great to me.
No, I'm not saying anything about us. I'm not saying like I should be at the sex club.
I agree. Mick didn't say anything like that, but I'm serious. I'm like, what's like the hottest group of people? Maybe like women's volleyball. Volleyball is usually all hot people. Beach
volleyball, CrossFit is kind of like a club. It's a group.
Yeah, but that's just health. They don't have to be attractive. It seems like all people who play volleyball are attractive.
Dental hygienists.
I agree with that.
There are. You know what? I'm not even going to fight you on that. There is an awkward number of attractive dental hygienists.
Why
to
is
the point where, and somebody who is super sensitive about his mouth because I've had them all knocked out. I'm very like, I don't like people looking in my mouth. I don't like people putting their fingers in my mouth like a doctor. I don't like it. It makes me very uncomfortable.
That's your kryptonite. People poking around with their fingers.
Like my superhuman ability is making you feel self-conscious about something that you didn't know you were self-conscious about. My kryptonite is you putting your fingers in my mouth. Like if you ever want to.
Dan's gonna wake up with me and Mick's pinkies in his mouth on either side, just fish hooking him.
Like, yeah, if I had to have something like fish out of my throat because I was choking and Heimlich wasn't working, I'd be like, no, I'll just die. Let me die. I'm good. Thank you. And this includes my fingers. My fingers don't go in my mouth. Like I won't like bite. I don't like bite nails. I just can't. I am a lunatic.
I bite my nails. I wish I could stop.
I just trim them real short and then they hurt. And that's what I do.
I never got the biting nails thing. One of my brothers does it bad, but like, even when I tried it just to be like, why do people bite their nails? I mean, I couldn't get a fucker off. Like, it's not.
I fucking can't. It's just one of those things. I think I have a laundry list of things that make me uncomfortable like that. But anywho, no, I just like to think about nudist colonies, right? So there's like in Florida has like a couple
in Europe, a lot of there's a lot of beaches. Like in Europe, most of the beaches are topless.
So New York, Long Island has topless beaches. Jones Beach has topless beaches. I remember as a kid, that was like a big thing for us. Like we gotta go to topless beach, and not once were we there and we saw anybody that we wanted to see nude. Now here's the thing: there's an element of this, and yes, this is the liberal Dan Barry in me, but like there's an element of it where like if you're happy with your body, who gives a shit? I don't give a fuck. Like we do whatever makes you happy. But also, like, I'm of the mindset of like, I'm glad that you're happy with your body. I wish I didn't have to see how happy you were. that's where I fall in. Like, I am very like, hey, body positivity. Like, super fat people. Like, you know what? Like Jonah Hill just posted a picture where Daily Mail tried to like make him feel bad for being shirtless. He's like, I'm in my 30s now, and it took me this long to be happy. Like, you're not about to ruin it for me. It's like that's fucking great. I'm super happy for you.
He's in his 30s. I thought he was like 50.
No, he's like my age. I was super happy for him. Like, that's awesome, man. Like, wait for you to like, I had to wear a shirt when I went swimming every single day. That's fucking great. On the same token, like I don't want to look at it. Like, it's just, like, I don't want to see you shirtless. I'm happy you feel that way, but I don't want you to see me shirtless. I hate my body. So I get it.
I don't think it's a matter of want, but like some people, Mick Thomas, will see a picture of him shirtless and be like, my day's ruined that I saw it in passing. Why do I have to see it? It's like, no, you don't have to see it. It just happened to be there and you passed.
He's so fast. You see his nipples.
But why do I have to look at it though? That's my point. Like, why do I have to look at it?
Right,
You don't have to though, but it just happened to be on your feed or whatever.
Yeah, it was in front of you, and you ruined your day. That would ruin your day.
Okay, why do I have to look at it? It's fucking like I remember I would go like to places like with my friend Tommy in Ireland. We would go to like Greece and all these little on these like summer vacations sometimes, right? And you would go like you'd be in the hotel lobby and you were getting checked in because you arrived on a bus with everybody else. And there'd be like these attractive girls and they'd be wearing bikinis and you give a gander, right? You go have a look. And then they see you looking.
What do you say?
JST.
And then you go ahead, keep going.
You have a look as you do, right? You have a look and then they catch you looking and then they do all of a sudden like, they do like, yeah. And they look again. So like there was a time I went through my life where I was fucking just a mess. And I was just like, and they would cover up and like, right? And like,
that's why you run so hard.
Bit of a perv. And then half an hour later, they're on the beach, all night hanging out, and you're walking by, just going like, well, now what's the difference? Like, what's the difference? You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's a matter of, so, and maybe this is just like the dude in me is like, well, this is why it's okay and why it is. But like, if I see someone, a very attractive person, I find very attractive in a bikini, I will look and go, oh, goddamn. Or I'll think something in my head. And then I immediately go, I probably shouldn't look anymore because then I'm going to seem like a fucking pervert. And I look away.
Yeah, I'm not a looker either. I look, photograph, gone in the memory bank.
Yeah. I don't have the term is, here's the thing, you're online. The term is stealing glances. You never look at them, but you might like.
Oh yeah, that brush by where you're like, oh, let me like pan the room. That's something
you get one. Yeah,
your head turns, but your eyes don't.
Yeah. You're like the worst surveillance camera.
No, the first look is free. Like Dan said, you look and you go, oh, I can't stare, otherwise it's creepy. But you steal a couple more looks kind of when you're glancing around.
Yeah, but some guys are just like.
They have no tact. Yeah.
Like, when I used to go to a gym, it was like that. You'd have girls in yoga pants and guys would just, I'm like, mate, what's your plan here?
Yeah. Like, oh, you know what you should do? Stare at them until they're uncomfortable. Chicks love that. It's just like a really weird, but like on the same token, like, I don't know, like, I don't know what's worse. It's the idea that like you feel like, oh, the good person in me is totally gonna glance once and then move away. But like the other person means like I'm gonna masturbate to that when I get home. Like there's not a question in my mind that I'm gonna find you, not you exactly, but I'm gonna find someone who looks exactly like you on a porn site, and I'm gonna just pretend that we had the best day of our lives. Like,
yeah, by the time you get home, you're not going to remember. Her face is going to change, and the tattoo wasn't an eagle; it was whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though. The memory, it's the experience, not the visual, right? Like I don't need to think about that exact person, but just what I imagine this person to look like. That's
people aren't going to remember the things you said, but they're going to remember the way you made them feel.
Yeah, who said that? Jesus?
No, that's a thing they say about whatever, but yeah, in terms of like what you're actually masturbating to later, it's more than how it made you feel.
Yeah, like the potato head debate. How does it make you feel? It's less about the actual.
Furious.
Now every time you see a potato, you're like fucking idiot.
Why did I have to see it?
Why do you have to see it? That's my. Do you understand the point I'm making? Like, I get people should be free to do what they want and look how they look, but why do I have to look at it? You know what I mean? Why do I have to listen to it?
Yeah, but you don't have to. It just might be there in passing. Like, if you open up the newspaper and there's, like, foreign news, you don't go, why is there foreign news in the paper? Why do I have to see it? You go, oh, there's the foreign news. I'll skip that part.
But I do think that Mick Thomas has an idea in his head that everything's either for or against him. And if you think of the world in that way, like everything is totally.
That is very superhero thinking, continuing down the path that Mick Thomas may be a superhero.
Yeah. It's not like, this person isn't naked on the beach because they're happy to be naked on the beach and that's what they want to do with their body. And, fuck the world. I'm going to live my life. Mick goes, look what he's doing to me now. there is an element of Mick that everything involves around what.
How could you do this to me?
Yeah.
No, it's the element of, it's almost like the American Idol scenarios, right? Where you stand there and someone goes on and I go, hey, what you doing? How you doing? I'm Blake. I'm from South Carolina. All right, Blake, today I'm going to sing a song like, in the arms of an angel, right? And no one in their family, when they went up and said, hey, Ma, and they go, yeah, I'm going to try out for American Idol. And no one goes, listen, mate, you're shit. Like, like, I love you more than anything can love anything in this world.
Are you kidding me? They're probably happy to get this person out of their hair for 36 hours.
They
like,
need to hear this from somebody else.
Right, exactly. So when you see that guy or woman just like, and they take it off, and like no one leans in and go, listen, Mary, no. Like, no. He has to see it.
But you think that you're the only audience member. That's the difference. Is that you think, well, it's on me now to say something because they're doing this for me. And that's where the problem starts.
How hard is it to live on a, like, I don't understand why people don't get, you know, like, it's, you don't, like the guy who talks during a movie theater, like, why is he not dead now? Like, that's my point. Like you should know that you don't talk during a movie. Like, it's like, why can't we all just have common sense? Like, why don't people?
I know Mick has a bad story about me, so I'm just going to say, Mick, sometimes you got to talk during a movie, and that's okay, all right? And you shouldn't have to be brandished for that.
You don't have to talk during a movie at all.
You never talk during a movie.
There's two type of movies I might accept, and that's a kid movie because you're 4 and you haven't been punched hard enough, right, to realize it's wrong, right? And then I realized I went too far with that. I took my son once when he was like 8 or 9, and I took him to a matinee show of a cartoon, and some kid was like was crying, and look, that's what's going to happen. And my son, like at the age of 8 years old, said, "Shush!" I was like, "Oh."
Here we go. Here we go.
The other one is a comedy, and I think a comedy, when you laugh out loud, you might lean to somebody and you might repeat it, like just like a comedy club, like where they're not talking during the show, they're not heckling. You might just say something like, "That is so true. You do that." Like, I give those people a pass. You know what I mean? Like, so,
except when they say it on every single joke, because there is, I could think of one person, I'm sure all of us have seen this person at one club that we frequented, where you would hit a punchline and then they would just repeat the punchline.
I know that cunt. Or she would go, "Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Like, and you're like, oh my God, I literally just said something very personal about myself as a joke. And you're going, oh, like elbowing your husband is like, I pay for this every single month. I don't know why I do this.
And love, you were here for the early show too. So you heard that joke already. Don't act like you're not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comedy attracts some real weirdos. Yeah.
Like, why do I have to deal with that person? Like, why does that person exist?
I will say this though, on the flip side of this, the other thing I hate about comedy is when somebody comes up and goes, yeah, we all needed a laugh now. It's like, fuck, come on, really? You're putting this on me? Like, I just told jokes about my dick for a half hour. You didn't need this. You chose to do this.
When you bomb one night, someone walks out, they go, you know, I really needed a laugh tonight. You let me down.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You ruined my weekend.
I was about to say, like, I love how Dan was like, you know, in 2 different things he said, like, you know, people are annoying and I kill.
Yeah. I don't think there's ever been a comedian who's ever walked up and like, all I do is eat shit. Like, everyone thinks that they kill. So I'm on.
Kill, crush, murder all day, every day.
Yeah. I did a show in Hartford, killed, standing ovation. And
I will eat shit all the time and talk about it. Like,
I laugh about how bad I am. I
only get mad when I got paid a lot of money to do it, and then it doesn't work out. I feel like, oh, fuck me, I'll never be back again. I took that person's money. But if I, like, when I do that Wednesday show and you guys are, you know, when I'm dicking around, if I do a joke and it bombs, like, I don't care. Like, I genuinely don't care. But like, if I'm somewhere for, like, I'm gonna be down in that comedy club in Myrtle Beach, what's it called, a Comedy Cabana. I'll be doing a spot on Friday. And like, I kind of want to do well, because maybe I'll start working down there. We can all head down and enjoy the spoils of comedy.
Man, believe me, I wish that I would love it if us three were a road trio that just hit the road and did whatever.
We'll get there, you know.
I still want to do Ireland. I still want the three of us do Ireland.
I was gonna say we were starting to think about working on something.
We were supposed to do Ireland last year. We were like, look, we can totally do it, and here's how we do it. And we had started putting the groundwork and putting the plans in. And I was like, well, I'm gonna be over there in March, and I'll just set up the whole thing, and that's all I wanted to do. And then suddenly it's like, nah, man, fuck you. The world shuts down when you try big comedy.
Right now, man. Ireland's a fucking mess. Like, I was talking to my mother the other day, and she was like, you know, they're very brainwashed over there, in relation to like. There's only one. See, over here, the media is opinionated, right? It's opinionated. Yes. So the Irish news is fact. But the fact that they get it from is they get it from American media. So, you know what I mean? Like, so they might get all their media from the left. And that's it. Here's what's good and here's what's bad. So, you know, everyone's like, the vaccine, goes, are you getting the vaccine? And go, I'm not against the vaccine. I'm just not probably going to get it because I'm fine. I'm healthy enough. I just generally don't want to get it. So my mother's terrified. She goes, oh, you got to get it. And then she goes, oh, I'm going to get it here. It goes, and then we have to carry a card around to say we got the vaccine. I'm like, whoa, that's a bit too much. Like, where are your papers? You know what I mean? Like, that's a bit too fucking much. You have to have a card with you. Go fuck yourself, man. So Ireland's a mess right now.
I don't know. I don't even like showing my insurance card, you know?
Oh, me either. I don't like showing any cards, like my ID, any of that shit.
That's whenever I go to a car dealership to buy a car and they go, oh, you still put your social security number on this piece of paper. I go, we're going to wait. We're going to hold off until the very minute I have to sign that piece of paper. I don't want you having it even a moment beforehand. And like, but you have to fill this out anyway. I'm like, I will later. Up until that moment, I'm not saying a fucking thing.
But you're a car salesman, man. I don't trust you. You're a snake in a fucking suit.
Literally, your job is you eat based on whether or not I buy this car. So I don't trust you as a human being.
Not at all.
I had a standoff for months with my student loan people because they would call me. This is back when I was like not good with paying my student loans like I am now.
What, Thursday?
But, huh? Yeah, right.
Way back.
Very long time ago. No, but we had a standoff that they would call me and they'd go,
how long did you take out for the Institute of Clown College?
Yeah.
$500. I'm still paying it off, man. Years later, I'm still working on it. And I'm not even using my degree right now. But anyway, so they called me for months and they're like, is this Dennis Rooney? And I go, I can't confirm. Like, who is this? You tell me who you are. You called me. And they go, we can't really tell you who we are, what company we're calling from until we're confirmed that this is Dennis Rooney. Could you tell us your social security? And I wouldn't tell them because I'm like, I don't know. If you're not going to tell me who you are, I'm not telling you my social, even though I know, like I knew who it was. You know what I mean?
It's the game. Yeah.
It's the game. And then I think like a year passed before it just went to some other company who would call and be like, this is Dennis Rooney, right? And I'd be like, yes.
Look, Dennis, we can see you.
Dennis, we're going to come take that clown makeup away if you don't get on top of these monthly
installments. Is our property until you've paid it off.
Yeah.
You have 5 more payments left on your squeaky nose.
Oh my god. Oh boy. Well, anyway, so we're gonna go to Florida. We're gonna go to South Carolina, and we're gonna golf, and probably get drunk.
Yeah, we'll record a live episode while we're there, right? Probably on Saturday, maybe.
Yeah, well, it's in the rainstorm. We might as well do it.
Rain.
There, my weather map says very differently than yours.
I have Kenny. Kenny tells me.
Ooh. Unless his name is Kenny Roker, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't give a shit what Kenny says.
I'm assuming that's a weatherman because it sounds like a weatherman would be.
Al Roker, like the world's most famous weatherman.
Is there a famous weatherman though, Dan?
Al Roker? Yeah.
I disagree. I don't even know her name, but that girl from Mexico. You know what I'm talking about?
About women that you masturbate to. I'm talking about.
No. If she said the fucking solar apocalypse was coming, I'd be like, I'm okay with that because the news, I'm how you're delivering the news, and they all dance. I love the Spanish network.
They shouldn't be doing the news. They should be doing like the genocides and the murders all over the world and all the horrible things that are happening.
Yeah, they should just like Spanish, like all these words in Spanish, and then COVID-19. I go, I understood that one. And
be like, see, keep going.
COVID-19.
Yeah, they all get up and start dancing in the middle of this, like in the middle of their segments. Like it's fucking hilarious.
500,000 people are dead in America.
Okay, a plane crashed into the mountain in Peru.
It's like, gonna be 53 degrees on Friday, by the way, guys.
53 degrees.
Yeah.
That's short weather.
54 is the chance of rain on Saturday. 54.
Yeah, chance though. It's always a chance. The chance of everything. Chance of alligator sightings. Chance of.
I tried doing a joke recently about chance of rain. Isn't there always a 50% chance of rain? It's either gonna rain or it's not. It's 50% chance. Isn't that always the case?
Is it 50% though?
Yeah, 50%. I don't care what they tell me. It's like there's really only a 30% chance of rain today. It's like, nope, it's 50%. It's either going to happen or it's not. Am I wrong?
Yes,
no.
but it's fine.
No.
There's only 1 of 2 outcomes: rain or no rain. 50% chance of either one.
50% chance of a fucking meteorite hitting too. Like it's not; those are not the odds. There is a chance, always a chance.
Mick,
I love how right or wrong Mick
blew
is
my
saying
mind
no.
wide
There's
open,
no.
baby.
You what?
You just blew my mind wide open, baby. I didn't realize. You're right.
No, I don't know, man. Maybe. Anyway. What's that the Mexican girl's name? If you just type in hot Mexican weather.
Dan's like, I didn't know I was supposed to be working on that. This whole
Yeah,
time.
I'm not your fucking. I'm not Ask Jeeves. Like, figure this shit out. Like, you can.
Hot Emmy Mexican.
Yes, Emmy Mexican.
We're gonna wrap this up. Mick's immediately gonna masturbate.
No.
That brick wall behind him is just gonna be covered in forensic evidence.
Yeah, I just typed in white Mexican W and I went, you mean weather girl, right? Like Google goes, yeah, we get this daily.
Well, they were
I'm sure it's your phone.
That's true. It is my phone. It is my phone.
Google's like, Mick, again?
Yeah, her name is
the last time.
Her name is Yanet Garcia. You're welcome. So if she said the fucking apocalypse is coming, I'd be like, all right, I'm okay with that news. Thank you for that, Miss Weather Girl. It's gonna happen, guys. It's gonna happen.
If that's how you feel about her,
50% chance would happen.
50% chance of that. If that's your like whatever she says is correct, Al Roker is more or less the exact opposite. You would never trust what he says. That's who Al Roker is.
Yeah, but I don't want my weatherman like catching footballs and talking and throwing jokes back to the
Get out of America then. There's this is the worst place for that.
I don't mean your job like either like you know what you are basically, and same as that weather girl is that hot Mexican girl. You're the girl on fucking Wheel of Fortune where you just turned the computer could do that.
Vanna White, do not listen. Do not start being condescending towards Vanna White. She is a national treasure.
We need a
Her
misogynist.
job is valued.
Just turning a number. Like
we need a misogynist mix soundbite where it's just here it comes.
Who is Pat Sajak going to bounce his jokes off of at the end of the episode? Hal 3000 over there, the board that turns itself. No, thank you.
That's not
but
funny,
that's
Pat.
my point, though. Why have it just because you're there for a reason? That's what the weather is. All it is a bunch of fucking lines with a picture of a sun, rain. Like I know what's happening. You don't need to explain about is it rain, Al? Before you go on to the next one, is tomorrow gonna rain too? Because the fucking sticker says, back to the studio, baseball, catch. Like it doesn't matter. We just want the hot girl to point at the symbols like it's I'm ordering something in another country.
Yeah, but what if you're a woman?
Can't speak Turkish. Can't speak Turkish in Turkey, but I walk to McDonald's and I go, fucking that one, please. Get that one. And the guy goes, I don't know you don't know me. You're Catholic, I'm Muslim. But together, I know what you want. You want this, don't you? That's all. Al, I don't give a fuck what you're saying. Fuck this. Is it snow, Al? Is it thunderstorm, Al? Because the picture says it is. You useless cunt. Just get the hot girls to point. That's all the weather should be. Fucking let's go to commercial. We're done.
All right, everybody. So my name's Dennis Rooney. Check out Netflix Book Club, my other podcast coming out soon. We'll be doing another episode next week. Some live dates coming up. Good job today, everybody. That was fun.
Hey, Dan Barry. You can also hear me on Tremendously Awkward Podcast, social media, Dan Barry. Mick, where can people find your misogynistic rants?
I don't want you to find anything anywhere else. Here comes future Mick.
You're a hot fucking girl. I don't want you to look at me page. No, fuck you.
Start your own broadcasting company with weather and turn it
snow. There's fucking snow everywhere.
Nick Thomas, Cheaper Than Dark podcast. Find me everywhere you want to go. And in New Jersey, the 16th all the way through the 20th, I will be at Point Pleasant, headlining Uncle Vinny's. And one night I'm working with the very funny Joey Diaz. Come down, check it out. Should be fun.
All right. That's it. Bye.